Welcome back. Tonight we're looking at CEI. This stock is doing well again today. We're not up by too much, but we are up by roughly 1%, and this is about 2 cents so far. Now we still have about half an hour to go until the markets do close, so do bear that in mind, but things are looking relatively okay for the stock today, and that is, of course, what we like to see. So the 1 day is looking fairly good. The 5 day is still in the red, don't get me wrong, but we are definitely coming very close now to possibly pushing into the green if this trend does continue. And once again, we're asking the question, where does CEI go from here? Because you will know, as we uncovered in our last video, we've been a lot lower than this. Come back to where we were on the 6th of October, you will see that the price was at 92 cents. Then we started to rise up, we hit our highs up here of 172, and from there we fell back down. Now once again, our lows down here were in the high teens range, just above $1, so $1.17, $1.18, something like that, around here, and now we're starting to go up a little bit. So the question right now is, what comes next for CEI? And again, I am not a financial advisor. This is never going to be financial advice. Don't take it as that, don't take it as anything like that. Please do your own research before investing and be very, very cautious. But yeah, if you do enjoy what you hear over here, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, because the more of you guys that do subscribe, the more I know that you enjoy our content. But like I said, not financial advice, but if you enjoy it, do subscribe. Now, the third and final thing that I want to mention is the fact that we are currently doing a fundraiser for Save the Children. If you guys can donate, it would be massively appreciated. So far, we have raised $310 for Save the Children. It really is getting up there. Can we have our next push taking us up to $350 donated? If it would be possible, it would be amazing. Do remember, 100% of the funds do go straight towards Save the Children, and if you can donate, you will be making a very positive difference to the least fortunate in our world. But now I've said that, we're going to dive into this video, and we're going to start off on the simple, easy to understand chart on the 1 day. So breaking down this trend a little bit further, you can see the pattern that we have noticed. So from 9:30, we opened up at a price of 119. Obviously, we had that initial fall up, fall down, so you can see that little gap down. But really from there, things started to strengthen up. You'll see that we went up to a high of the day up here at 129, which is very nice to see. From there, we had a bit of a dip. Now this took us to 123, and in that range, we did start to consolidate for a while, and this really started to end at about 2 o'clock. So you can see from 2 o'clock, we started to break out from that pattern. We hit our second high up here of the day, which was at 127. And bear in mind, this has been a bit of a level of resistance today because we have bounced off it here. We've managed to not break through that resistance and come back here as well. You will see we had trouble breaking past that 127 range. So it has been quite a difficult range to get past today, apart from here, of course. But yeah, we are now sat on 125. And again, this really is not looking too bad now. It was going to be a mixed day, being as we had that fall down at open, and again, this really did not disappoint because we did come back from that, and we are actually still up today. So CEI is kind of defying what we would expect for the stock right now. And the 5-day chart, like I said, is still looking quite bad. We are still in the red right now, and if you do have a look from mid-Wednesday, which is of course today, we have been consolidating, and we are looking quite flat from there. Now this is putting us in a good position. My question is, are we going to start to see this bounce off this level and go higher? Or are we just going to start to go lower, or even just stay still? What we want to do is we want to see this one bounce up a bit more. We want to see this one continue to go up, as it will be putting us in the right location. But I'll talk about this more towards the very end of the video. What I want to do with you guys now is give us a quick technical analysis. We're going to do this again on the 1 day, 5 day and 1 month, and we're going to start off on the 1 day. So we have a few of our indicators down here. If you have a quick look, you will see our moving average is clear, and that is at 125.9, and this is a little bit above where we are right now. Not too big of a deal. It is just a little bit off because we have had that motion downwards in the most recent minutes, and it hasn't really had the time to catch up. I don't see that as too big of a deal in my opinion. And throughout the day, we're looking at relatively low volume, but we'll talk about this more in just a few moments. So yeah, first I want to have a quick look at what we have seen when it comes to our other things down here, like our RSI figure, which is at 47. Now 47 for this indicator is actually ideal. Bear in mind, 50 is completely flat, completely neutral. So 47 is just about where we want to be, and I'm happy to see it there. The MACD trend for this time is also fairly neutral because we haven't had too much going on, and again, the volume breakdown for the day is quite quite clear. A lot of volume from 10:30 because we had this big push up. From there we had a second big volume around this point here where we had our second push up, and from there you will see we had a little bit of volume coming on this third push up, but really nothing too significant, and volume has kind of been quite low for the rest of the day. But yeah, bullish volume coming in here, bullish volume coming in here, and on open we of course had that massive bearish volume as we did have that little gap down from yesterday's post / pre-hours into today. So the 5-day chart, if we want to read that, one thing is clear, and that is that we are sat on our moving average exactly. Moving average of 125 is where we are. It's not bad, and it is actually kind of what we want to be seeing. The trend for the RSI figure is on 47 now. That is also very good, like I just said, and it is also where we want to be. And the trend for the MACD is now becoming a little bit bearish, but overall it is still looking very good and very, very close to neutral. Now, the volume for the past 5 days, you will see where our big spikes are. A bit of volume did come into this one today in relation to what we have seen before. We had a lot of volume the other day where we had this very big spike up, and again volume back here, but recently volume has been quite low for CEI, and that becomes very apparent on the 1 month. So what I've brought into this one right now is our volume indicator. That is down at the bottom. We can just quickly highlight the volume figures down here. You'll see how it goes, millions, and you can see the higher volume days back here. So relatively high volume back here, and right now we're seeing extremely low volume in relation to that. Now, today's volume is not too far off yesterday's volume, which is not the worst thing in the world, because bear in mind, we do not want to see this one drop, but we do want to see volume actually go up. So the fact that volume isn't really increasing by too much is not the best thing in the world. We want volume to come back into the stock as time does go on, because volume does show that people are continuing to buy the stock, people are continuing to hold the stock, and of course it shows that people are still thinking about the stock and talking about the stock, and that is what we need for the word to spread and for the stock to keep pushing up. Now come over here to a few of our other indicators. You'll see that the MACD trend is looking a little bit bearish as time goes on. We have been below this line, and again the line is neutral, so to be below the line means that we are in the bearish territory. We have been in that line for quite some time because we have had this drop over time, and now that it is starting to level out, fair enough, we are still remaining in that level. And again, if we do want to see a breakout to the bullish side, we want to see some volume come back into the stock, and that will put us more towards the bullish side, because like I said, these red candles, you can barely even see them, they're barely even there, and again it wouldn't really take too much to push us over the line and put us back into a bullish trend, but currently it is still bearish on the MACD. Now the trend for the RSI is dipping between 44 and 43 at the moment, which is not too bad actually. It's 7 points away from neutral. Yes, it is a little bit low, but it's still not concerning in my opinion. Bear in mind that 20 is considered to be oversold and 80 is overbought. So to see this one at 44 is, 5 or 6 points away from neutral. 7 at the max. It's not the biggest deal in my opinion, and it's really not even too far off where we want to be. So the trend for CEI is not looking too bad. In my humble opinion, we are looking at a decent area for some consolidation. Now, one thing that I have said with CEI, and I have been right as of yet, we were definitely bound to see this drop from the highs. It happened too quickly, and then we saw a bit of a sell-off as people did lose interest. Now, my question going forward into the next week is, now that we've had that big dip, what comes next? Because you will remember that, like you said, CEI was up there for a very, very long time. It's probably not going to go down much lower in my opinion, but what we need to see is the interest come back into stock. We need the long volume to come back in, because it's all good saying that the stock is hitting consolidation. Well, inevitably, having a massive run, having a massive sell-off, it was going to cool off at some point. It doesn't really mean anything until we see that volume come back in and until we start to see that push up. So on the one hand, I do get how there could be, advantages to buying the stock right now. I do get how it could be seen as one of the least risky times to buy CEI. And, CEI, I'm not going to say it's a low risk stock. It's a very, very high risk stock. But I think for this particular stock, we are coming to one of the more low risk times to buy it that we have seen in a while. Because come out to a 3 month, you'll see how big that move is. If we want to bring in another one of our indicators, we can bring in the Bollinger Bands. And they will basically show how wide the range of movements for CEI actually were. So bring those in, set them up to the normal standards, and you will see how high we have been on the Bollinger Bands, how wide they have been. Now as time goes on in the past week or so, they are becoming tighter and tighter and tighter. And as they get tighter, we are looking, potentially, we're looking for the next breakout. Now, whether we actually get to see that or not is unclear. Now, the bands right now are not as tight as we would, really want them to be, but the fact that they're getting tighter shows that this, weird trend in the CEI is kind of ending, and the question is now, after this consolidation, are we going to start to see that push up, or are we just going to start to die off and be another stock that everybody forgets about? Well, I want to hear you guys' opinions down in the comment section. Again, the next week or two is going to be crucial, because it does take that interest for CEI. It's all good talking about the short interest or those sorts of factors. It doesn't mean anything if we do not have the long interest, and that is just my humble opinion. So thank you for watching the video. Again, if you can donate to the fundraiser, please do. But now, I'm going to tell you all about our Discord. So thank you for watching through till the end, but let me tell you about our Discord. So on your screen you will be seeing the N2S Finance Discord. Obviously it is split into multiple sections. Basically at the top we have updates from me and all that kind of good stuff. If you scroll down a bit further we have the main sections where we focus on cryptos, SPACs and other hot stocks including penny stocks, even stable growth stocks as well, and we even have a special AMC GME chat. If you scroll down you can see some research and DD from the community. We also have funny memes and you can see actual contributions from members down here. And again, if you do join us, it is completely free, link is down below. But if you do want to become a Patreon, you will actually get a pink sticker which will be displayed on your name. So your name will come up in pink as mine comes up in red down here, and that will show that you are a Patreon. But other than that guys, you can join completely for free down below. You do not have to pay anything if you do not want to. Thank you for watching, see you soon.